you spoke about, that leaders making mistakes and all of that, but how does a leader remain accountable? Can you state some of the areas where accountability is not only a personal commitment, but is also seen and experienced by people, by church members, by everyone else, that it's just not some hidden aspect of your life, but then it is also a part of your witness, a subjective witness of your faith.
Yes, accountability is a very, very big issue, especially in churches and organizations where there is not very much democracy. I mean, it's kind of a top leader controlling everything and so forth. I know, for example, in Korea, the role of a pastor is considered to be a very autocratic kind of a position. There is a women's university there called Eva University, all women students. In one survey they took some long ago, asked to whom these girls would like to marry. The first one was doctors. They earn a lot of money. The second in the list was pastors. They also earn a lot of money, and people prefer that, the status and all that. But in a democratic setup, there again, all your work ought to be done in a team. So accountability comes to your team. But I believe each leader should have an inner circle of 2 or 3 friends to whom they should be accountable. Accountability group. And these 2 or 3 people in the group ought to be a very confident group, can trust each other, and all of them can share their heart openly without hiding anything. That kind of accountability is good for us, good for all of them. Then accountability to the church is concerned, there are 2 or 3 areas. I would say one main question very often is finance. What do you do with your finance? You have to be very open. You have to be very careful in handling it. You see, I raised hundreds of thousands rupees for the relocation, starting a whole new seminary. Raised money in Germany, in America, England, and all that. Never once I receive money personally. I always say, this is your treasurer, Union Biblical Seminary, you write a check, that's it. I never heard anybody accusing me about unfaithfulness with finance.
Yeah.
Finance, you have to be very. Then you have to have constant communication with your people. Communicate constantly so that people will know you have no hidden agenda. Then accountability in terms of your relationship with the opposite sex. And that also has been a very difficult thing with many church leaders and missions, and nothing to talk about the political leaders. Billy Graham had a rule that he would never be alone with a woman except immediate relative, never alone with another woman. And in the political circles and social circles outside of the church circle, they used to call it Graham mandate. This was a principle that he kept. So accountability in terms of that, also you have to be very careful.
Yeah, I think it's one of the critical factors, especially now. People outside look at us, especially the financial accountability part of it. It goes out very quickly, and the whole church is judged, even if it happens within one particular group or a denomination. The entire church is tainted with this, with the same brush. And that's the kind of impression that happens. So unless there's accountability, is there any other things that can be done, to can there be something like, I mean, I know it is not everybody who accepts it, like an accountability partner, or an accountability body, especially now with the mushrooming of independent churches. I mean, independent of being responsible to another leader or another group of leaders. That's the kind of thing that's happening within churches. And sometimes I think it's while there is a lot of churches that I've been coming across all over, but being independent in accountability is going to be a challenge for the church.
Yes. Yeah. Most organization has a governing body to whom a leader is accountable. But then if governing body is made up of people who are weak and who are small people, that the CEO, leader himself has selected the yes people, see, then this doesn't work. Otherwise, governing body is something that should be strong enough to demand accountability from a CEO. In India, as you know, there is a EFI related kind of an organization for financial accountability. So any finance that we receive from outside and so forth, they come and evaluate how this has been done. So I would say these 2 or 3 people, group of people to whom each is accountable to the others, that can be also CEOs of other organizations and similar organizations. So any kind of a fellowship of your equals, because in every organization it's very difficult for a person to totally share your heart and heartache and all that with colleagues who work under you. It's a practical difficulty. So what you inferred as, is it possible to have someone of the same level others, which is very good.
I remember Dr. Chris Wright in the third Lausanne Congress on World Evangelization. He spoke about 3 idols that can have a particular appeal to God's people. Power, success, greed. 3 things that he mentioned as idolatry. And he also brought in something called as that we have to come back to being his people, which is people of humility, integrity, and simplicity. I think it is so critical at this time for us to make note of some of these things, especially in church leadership, to have humility, integrity, and simplicity, and recognize those idols, isn't it?